Did you know that most of the ailments we experience today are mainly due to acidity in the body? And that is because of the way we eat, that is because of our diet. Imagine. Anyways, I am Dr. VQ. I always share health and wellness tips. I'm your registered homeopath in South Africa. If you want to know more about how pH impacts the body and the body systems, please stick around. Okay, let's get on it. So what is pH? pH is known as potential of hydrogen or power of hydrogen. You can learn more about it in chemistry. But how it works is it's a scale of 0 to 7, 0 to 14. So between 0 and 6 is considered, anything between those numbers are considered acidic. So if you eat any food that is between that range, it's acidic. Anything beyond 7 is considered alkaline, and those are considered good foods, right? And then we have 7, which is neutral. An example would be water. So how does pH impact the body? Again, it is important to note that our body has varying levels of pH depending on the body system. For example, our skin is a very acidic environment, and we need that acidic environment in order to have some sort of barrier against pathogens, so that it's not easy for them to penetrate. So areas like your skin, like your genital area, you would find the pH to be acidic. It is extremely acidic in the stomach because, again, we need to digest some foods. We need to break down some foods before it gets absorbed in the intestines. So that's another thing to note. And your blood is a pH of 7.4. It should not be above that. It should not be below that. You would not exist. You would definitely not exist if it had to change. So it's very important to remember that when a person tells you the body needs to be alkaline, you must just remember there are areas in the body that need to be acidic. Okay, so here are 4 things that I want you to note when we talk about maintaining an alkaline environment in the body. So number 1 is that acidity or acid erodes. Number 1, acid erodes. And what do I mean by this? So say, for example, your joints. If there's excess acid, if there's too much acid in the joints, the cartilage around the joints starts to erode, starts to burn, for lack of a better word. It erodes, basically. It finishes, it disappears because of the acid in the body, in the joints, right? And because of that, if there's no cartilage now, which is a protective gear for the ends of your joints, so that there's no friction. Now, when the cartilage is not there anymore because of acid, you feel pain. There's lots of friction causing inflammation. Now you get conditions like your arthritis. Another example of acidity in the system would be ulcers, like in your let's say stomach or in your intestines. Stomach I see, but if there's excess acidity below what it normally should be, then you get things like your ulcers. Then that means the lining of that particular part of your gut has eroded. So acidity erodes. Number 2, acidity causes excess mucus. Excess mucus, let's take a condition like your asthma, right? Asthma is where there is excessive mucus. So in cases like that, it makes it difficult to get rid of the condition because it breeds an environment for more pathogens to thrive because of the excess of mucus. Take another example, chronic sinusitis. There's always mucus in the sinuses, making it difficult to clear, making it difficult to heal, because it's like a breeding environment for pathogens to thrive. Another thing, which is now point number 3, if there's excessive acid in the body, you are prone to infections, like I just said with regards to excessive mucus. So it creates an environment where pathogens, by pathogens I mean your hohos, your germs, in all the different species, thrive. So it's a great environment for them to thrive. And we know that when pathogens thrive and your body cannot fight it, your immune system cannot fight it off, then you get ill. So it gets you prone to infections. And one last thing I need you to note is inflammation. So when there's excess acid in the body, it causes inflammation. Again, our example of the joints, that when there's no cartilage now, it creates friction, and constant friction causes inflammation. So it is that case even in other areas of the body. It creates inflammation. All right. So what can help with this, with maintaining an alkaline environment in the body? One thing you can do for yourself is making sure that your diet is good. Your diet is good, and by that I mean you involve more leaf greens in your diet. And I know that especially kids, we don't like leafy greens. It's not really nice, but it's healthy. And you can include grasses, which can be horrible, but it's important for you. So if you have excessive acid in the body, it's time to introduce those to try and reduce the acid and alkalize the environment. So with grasses, things like that, and in greens like your spirulina, like your moringa, those are the things that not very nice to taste, but can help to neutralize the acid in your body. Another great one, which is very easily accessible, would be apple cider vinegar. And another person would say, but it's acid, it's acidic. Yes, but when it gets to your stomach, it changes. It changes, right? I'm not going to talk about the mechanism of how things, happen in the process to get to it alkalizing the environment, but it definitely does. So it won't burn you, because it does change, because the stomach itself is acidic, so it does kind of change its acidic state, and it's good for you. It's actually very good for you for a lot of things, not just combating acidity. And here are simple foods or things that we need to avoid in order to keep and maintain an alkaline environment. Coffee. Whew. I know most of us are culprits. Most of us are victims to this thing. But yeah, coffee. I know. But caffeine, in moderate amounts, it's fine. But in excessive amounts, it can be a problem because it is acidic. And yeah, sugar, not necessarily sugar, raw sugar as it is, but sugar in a form of carbs. So check your calories, check your carbs. Is it good carbs you're having? Because there's different types, and most of them are just unhealthy. So try to cut down on that, because it does increase acidity. And unhealthy fats and oils, so cut down on that. Introduce good oils like your olive oil, like your coconut oil, like your salmon, good fats, good oils, that will help in neutralizing the pH in the body. Grains, especially grains. Okay, if you happen to like this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification button, because I will be uploading more videos and content on how to improve your health through natural health and wellness.